Welcome to Get Indie Gaming and to our regular monthly overview of 5 of the best looking games looking for funding via the Kickstarter crowdsourcing platform. Coming later in this episode, we have a visual point-and-click adventure novel, one of the most looking fun co-op couch games we've seen in a while, and a sequel to a much-loved game that launched in the summer of 2017. While you're here, click on that like button, and if you haven't, now would be an awesome time to subscribe to our channel to stay fully in the loop with many things indie gaming. And with that, let's get going with this month's Kickstarter countdown. In 5th place, we have Super Combat Fighter, which promises to be a 2D fighting game with digitized actors, over-the-top visuals, and a lineup of celebrity guest fighters all wrapped together with what appears to be a parody of the popular fighting games of the past, such as Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. At the moment, you'll be able to choose from 7 characters across 10 interactive stages with 4 modes, including an extensive single-player story mode with multiple endings and, of course, a local 2-player head-to-head. The game's also set to come with the ability to uncover lockables, enter game-altering cheat codes, and of course pull off a string of punishing and deadly combo moves to help finish off your opponent. The team are looking to raise $35,000 with stretch goals to add more fighters to the roster and additional modes into the overall offering. The campaign runs until midnight October 12th, with the game having a Q3 2019 launch timeframe, with it coming to the PC, PlayStation 4 and the Xbox. We're hugely interested in seeing how well this offering is picked up by the fighting game community. After all, by the looks of Super Combat Fighter, together with a relatively tongue-in-cheek approach to the campaign, this has huge parody flashing all over it, which we kinda like, and we're honestly looking forward to see how the development of this one progresses. Sunless Seas writer Richard Cobbett and Wadjet Eye, who have previously made a name for themselves with The Black Legacy and Unavowed, have brought their next game, Nighthawks, to Kickstarter and are looking to raise $125,000. Nighthawks is best described as a mix of story-driven RPG within an overall umbrella of being an undead life simulation, which sounds as odd as it reads, although we're suitably intrigued, hence its listing here in today's video. Going back to the game, Nighthawks will blend the literary style of Sunless Seas and the dark atmosphere of beloved urban fantasy games such as Vampire Bloodlines, where it looks to play like a modern adventure game with branching dialogue and character interactions. At the time of writing, with 5 or so days to go until the campaign wraps up, Nighthawks is about 50% of the way to reaching its goal, so there's clearly plenty more still to be done. All being well, this one should come out towards the end of the first half of 2020. Looking for a rather modest $7,500 and closing out towards the tail end of October, Bombfest is a cute-as-you-like looking local multiplayer party game for up to 4 people, featuring wall-to-wall explosions where players battle against each other to be the last toy standing. Each of the dozen or so battle arenas are handcrafted and littered with what looks to be like child's building blocks that for many parents will be instantly recognisable. Set to feature a simple to understand and learn 2-button controlling mechanic, Bombfest looks an utter delight, and if all things go well with this round of funding, should launch onto the PC and all of the major consoles in the second week of the new year. Rewards include beta access, the soundtrack, a rather cool looking t-shirt, right up to the option to design an in-game character or even a bomb of your very own. While Bombfest still has a long way to go before the funding closes, it's already well on the way to getting over the finish line, and if successful, the team behind this one will look to raise additional funding to add additional stretch goals. In the runners-up slot, we have the Darkside Detective Season 2, which perhaps unsurprisingly is set to be the sequel to the original Darkside Detective, which came out in the summer of last year. Looking to raise €35,000 or nearly $41,000, the campaign runs until October 12th, with the game expected in early 2020 on the PC, Switch and Mac OS. Like the original, this comedic point-and-click adventure will have 6 cases at launch, each each one offering somewhere in the region of 45 minutes of adventuring fun, quips and devilish tricks. With the original game being a success, you might ask why the team are looking to Kickstarter to raise funding for this sequel. Well, Spooky Doorway explained that while the first game made them some money, much of it was reinvested back into making more content for the game and for ports onto systems such as the Nintendo Switch. The money from this campaign will, the developers say, help fund the work that's needed to be done for this sequel. If you're unsure what to expect, you can download and play the first 2 cases of the original game for free, with the link to do so in the campaign's Kickstarter website. Rewards, of course, include copies of the game, artistic prints, stickers, t-shirt, and for $5,000 you can appear as a character within the game should you so choose. As huge fans of the original, we wish the team behind this one every success with their campaign. In our number 1 position for the October Kickstarter showcase, we have When the Shutter Stops, a visual detective mystery novel with point-and-click adventure elements that plays out in a similar way to games such as the Ace Attorney series and draws inspiration from classic films such as The Maltese Falcon and Chinatown. Looking for $10,000 before the funding closes on October 24th, When the Shutter Stops sees you as the player retracing the steps you took during your childhood as a former child detective. You play as Priscilla Vate within 10 or so hours of this mystery investigative journey as you attempt to crack a case and put a newly released serial killer back behind bars. You'll meet a wide variety of interesting and colourful characters with 4 distinct story branches, each having at least 3 distinctive endings and featuring real locations and dynamic street art from the city of Philadelphia. In addition to the main storyline, the game will offer 2 optional romance paths filled with double entendres and unexpected outcomes. Stretch goals past the $10,000 include additional scenarios, more crimes, additional characters, and extending the romantic aspects of the game. With a release date for the end of next year, When the Shutter Stops will come to the PC and perhaps the Mac and Linux and other platforms. As always, we wish all of the games the best of success in hitting their targets, and we will come back to you sometime in November to recap how they performed against their aims. We hope you enjoyed this October lineup, and if there's anything you really like the look of, please let us know in the comments section below. Hitting that like button is always appreciated, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, why not go ahead and just click on that button to do so. Many thanks for watching. We look forward to welcoming you all back here soon for more indie game videos.